Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Bum from BuM Gaming, and this is our first video on our channel, officially. So thank you for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. We'll have more to come soon. Today, we're going to talk about New World. And the question is will PVE players enjoy it? I just recently made the switch from Elder Scrolls Online. On Xbox, I pretty much had completed all in-game content. I made the switch to PC, where it seems like the in-game community is dying, but that's happening on both PC and Xbox. They had New World on sale on the Steam store, so I went ahead and grabbed it up. And I'm glad I did, because it's definitely fun, and from a PvE perspective, it's definitely a breath of fresh air. There's a lot of things that they do right from the PvE perspective, and what they haven't done right or aren't doing right seems like they're going to be fixing in this next update that's coming on October 18th with the Brimstone update. What we have here is what's called an expedition. An expedition is pretty much equivalent to like a dungeon. You and 4 other players can go into it and complete the content, fight bosses, mobs, all that good stuff, get gear, XP, and have some fun. I originally thought that this game was just PvP only, and boy was I wrong. And when you really dig deeper and get further into it, you see that the PvE side of things actually goes pretty extensive. And so I'm really looking forward to leveling up and going further into the game, just so I can get into those real hardcore in-game experiences. Plus, what's cool about these expeditions is throughout it, you have these resources where you can mine nodes and stuff like that. But back to the dungeon, or the expedition I should call it. It's definitely interesting, and they do what's called mutated variations of the dungeon. So what would be equivalent to like different types of hard modes. Each expedition has various mutations which offer more XP, better gear, all that good stuff. And so what I would encourage is if you haven't checked out New World yet, and you're somebody looking for something different on the PvE side, or maybe even the PvP side, which I haven't tried yet, definitely give it a chance. Check it out. Worth the buy 100%. This is the first boss that you really encounter, the first big boss that you encounter on this particular expedition. And it's honestly one of the first mechanic-driven bosses that I've seen in these expeditions so far. Of course, they are all normal expeditions, which are very, dumbed-down versions, toned-down versions of the expeditions themselves. But on this particular boss, his mechanic, besides spawning these little ads, you have to, he'll get a life tether on him, and you'll have to teleport over to this little island, if you will, kill down the ads, and then destroy the crystal, which you'll see coming up. Now, during this time, it's really important that the DPS that stay on the main stage where the boss is, they kill these crystals that pop up. There'll be these crystals that'll pop up, and if they're not taken care of, they'll create this pulse of damage that'll put a pulse of damage through the whole group, which eventually, if not dealt with, can lead to a wipe. Now, once you're done destroying the crystal, you come back, fight the boss, rinse and repeat. We have to do this 2 times in this boss fight, and each time, you'll see the second time, instead of doing 1 island, we have to do 2 islands. Now, one of the things is, as far as being tank is concerned, that's different than a game like Elder Scrolls is a lot of the taunting is based on threat. And so if you have a DPS that is a high DPS and it puts out a lot of threat to these bosses, there's a possibility that they may take the aggro from those bosses or enemies. So it's really important that you, as a tank, you're not only taunting the enemies, but you're also putting in enough DPS in order to keep the threat level up and on you, as opposed to having those bosses and enemies on your teammates. And of course we come back after this second wave and we just clean this boss up. Easy peasy. One of the cool things about these expeditions is you're able to do them multiple times, repeatable. And with that comes XP, gear, all that good stuff. And usually what I do is I'll come into the expeditions. It's fun to help out new players who haven't done it before. It's always fun to celebrate the win of them completing it for the first time. But also the gear that you get, it sometimes will sell in the traders. So not only are you making XP and gear, but you're making gold too. This is the last boss, which is a fun one for sure. When I first tried this boss, I didn't realize that the laser mechanic I needed to avoid. And so I just kept eating the laser mechanic, not knowing what was going on, wondering why I was dying. But this particular boss, he puts out a laser mechanic that'll spin round and round, and you just kind of have to kite that laser around and not let it hit you. As you can see, that DPS had a little bit higher DPS that particular burst, and it pulled the threat off of that boss. But I've grabbed the taunt back, I've got him aggroed, and we're good to go. I really love the tanking skills on this game. I'm using a Warhammer and a sword and board, but you have various options that you can use. Some use the sword and board and the spear, some use the sword and board and the great axe, some use the sword and board and the hatchet. I just really like the hammer. It seems to really go well with my playstyle. And as you can see, there's that legendary laser that we're all friends with. But I would encourage, try out different playstyles, just as long as you're sticking to the fundamentals of tanking, and of course following the mechanics of the expeditions. This is definitely a game that allows a little bit of freedom and flexibility when it comes to stuff like that. Of course, the closer you get towards end game and the mutated dungeons, you do become a little bit more, you have to become a little bit more stricter with what you're wearing, perks, stuff like that. But in the beginning stages, it's just about having fun and really figuring out the game. Now we have an update coming up on October 18th. It's going to be the Brimstone update. It's bringing a big quality of life update, a lot of changes, a new experience when it comes to the whole grind of leveling up your character. Also brings a new area and a new expedition, which I'm excited about. I'm about to hit level 60 either today or tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to what's to come in the game. So the question is, New World. Will PVE players like it? The answer is yes. I think absolutely. But don't take my word for it. Jump in, play, and hopefully I'll see you out there. Catch me on the US East server, Valhalla, and I'm under the gamer tag or gamer name Mordecai Tanksyu. But thank you for tuning into my first video. I look forward to putting out more, and I look forward to interacting with each and every one of you. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you around.